صحابته المنتجبين. قال الله تعالى في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إذ قال يوسف لأبيه: يا أبت إني رأيت 11 كوكبا والشمس والقمر رأيتهم لي ساجدين. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. One of the things that we all see, maybe on a daily basis, every couple of days, but almost everyone sees, is dreams. Everyone sees dreams once in a while. Sometimes several dreams on the same night. Some dreams we remember, other dreams we forget. But everyone sees dreams. However, there are some that could care less about their dream. They'll wake up in the morning, even if they remember that dream, it doesn't really matter to them. It doesn't make a difference to them. For others, it makes a world of a difference. If they saw a bad dream, that day is going to be a bad day. It might even be a bad week. If they saw a good dream, they'll think that they're going to have a good day. They allow their dreams to affect them psychologically. Some people take dreams very seriously, to the point that instead of asking religious questions about their prayers and fasting and khums and hajj, there are some people that are obsessed with dreams. Their only questions are about dreams. I have people stopping me all the time, sometimes calling me, sending me messages, the longest messages, asking me to interpret their dreams. And this is a problem, because some people think that all scholars that study in Hawza, they know how to interpret dreams. No. Most scholars do not know how to interpret dreams. So usually I jokingly tell these people, I tell them, listen, I'm not Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. Prophet Yusuf used to interpret dreams. I know I look like Prophet Yusuf, but it doesn't mean I could interpret dreams like Prophet Yusuf. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. There's some speakers. Their whole lecture is based on a dream. From the beginning to the end, their lectures are based on dreams. Is this correct? Is it right for a person to base his whole life or a lecture or his happiness or misery on dreams? Tonight, we'd like to examine a couple of points. Number one, where do dreams come from? What is their origin? How do they develop? Number two, what do they mean? When we see a good dream or a bad dream or a dream that's neither good nor bad, what does it mean? Do dreams foretell the future? If I see a dream and I'm doing something, does that mean it will happen in the future? Do dreams have any religious value or significance? In Islam, does Islam give dreams significance and value or no? Also, who can interpret dreams? Can just anyone interpret a dream? Even if you read a book about the interpretation of dreams, or no? Is this a special kind of knowledge? These are a couple of points that inshallah we will try to touch upon very briefly on each point. Inshallah. Wa sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. First of all, where do dreams come from? And what do they mean? Here there are several opinions and there are several theories regarding dreams the reality of dreams, and what they mean. One theory says that our dreams, we see in our dreams the things that we do during the day. Thus, they have absolutely no meaning whatsoever. It's like a snapshot, a camera. It's like when you carry your iPhone or your camera and you take pictures when you're out at the park, when you're out at an amusement park or anywhere. You take pictures and then you come back home and you go through the pictures. According to the first opinion, dreams are like a camera. They don't mean anything. What you see during the day, for example, during the day you listen to a lecture. You attended a wedding. You attended a funeral. Your mind takes snapshots of where you were, the people that you met, the places that you went to, and at night in your dream it will play back the movie. That's all it is. This is the first opinion. Second opinion says that our dreams are actually our fears. What is it that we fear in our lives? It comes to us in our dreams. Whatever it is that we fear, it could be heights. There are some that are afraid of heights. There are some that are afraid of losing a loved one. They'll see it in their dream. They'll see in their dream that they're losing, God forbid, a son or a daughter or one of their parents. They'll see it in their dream. Why? Because they're afraid of it. It's something that they're scared of. They'll see it. Some people are scared of spiders. They'll see it in their dream. Some people are scared of snakes. There are others that are scared of dogs. I know a person once, I was somewhere, and there was someone sleeping in the same room, and he was howling and screaming and shouting. I went and I woke him up, told him, "What's wrong with you?" He said, "I saw a dog chasing after me." Apparently he's scared of dogs, so he sees it in his dream. Things that we're scared of, we'll see it in our dreams. This is another opinion. A third opinion says that our desires come to us in our dreams. Instead of our fears, our desires. What do you desire? What do you crave? For example, there's a young lady that wants to get married. This is her desire. In her dream, she'll see her wedding. She'll see herself walking down the aisle for her wedding. It's just like a mirage. According to this third opinion, it says dreams are like a mirage. What is a mirage? A mirage is when a person is stuck in the desert and he's dying from thirst, so he begins to imagine what? Water. According to the third opinion, they say that our dreams are like a mirage. What is it that you want in your life that you can't have? In your dream you see it. You have a job, you have a brand new car, you're married, whatever it is that you're craving, it'll come to you in your dream. Have you taken a nap in the afternoon during Ramadan when you're fasting? I guarantee you 99% of your dreams is about food. Cake and a hamburger, and large cup of Pepsi with ice, and so on and so forth. Why? Because that's what you're craving, you'll see it in your dream. This is a third opinion. You will see yourself in Hajj or in the Haram of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Why? Because you crave to go and visit Imam Hussein alayhi salam. You crave to be in Mecca or in Medina, you'll see yourself. This is another opinion. A fourth opinion says that our dreams are a history book. Old events in our lives that have taken place years ago come back to us in our dreams. Even if it's a very old event, maybe your wedding day, your graduation day, Maybe an event that was painful for you, the loss of one's parents, you'll see it in your dream. Maybe an embarrassing day at work or at school, you'll see it in your dream. Thus, according to this opinion, dreams are a history book. Whatever it is that you see, it's from the past. It has nothing to do with the future. And a fifth opinion says the complete opposite, that dreams tell us about the future. It has nothing to do with the past. If you see yourself getting married, if you see yourself at a wedding, that means you're going to get married. If you have a job, that means you're going to get a job. If you see yourself with children, that means you're going to have children, and so on and so forth. Dreams predict the future, according to this fifth theory. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Sigmund Freud has a special theory on dreams. He has a book called An Interpretation of Dreams. Sigmund Freud says that we human beings, we have desires that are legitimate, that are acceptable. These desires are acceptable by religion, by society. For example, you'd like to get married. This is acceptable, religiously and socially. This is an acceptable desire. However, sometimes we have unacceptable desires. A desire that is not acceptable, not by religion and not by society, or perhaps a desire that is unattainable, something that you cannot have. According to Sigmund Freud, these desires are repressed. We human beings, we repress these desires. Our conscious mind represses these desires. Says, you know what? Forget about them. Forget about this desire because you can't have it. It's just not right. It's not possible for you to have this desire. So the conscious mind represses this desire and puts it in a small box and throws it all the way back in the mind. Sigmund Freud says that when we go to sleep, when the conscious mind also falls asleep, who wakes up? The subconscious mind, the unconscious mind. The unconscious mind wakes up and goes to that small box full of repressed desires and opens that box and lets out the repressed desires. Thus, our dreams are actually repressed desires from the past. It could be from our childhood days. You might have a repressed desire from your childhood days that you haven't been thinking about when you're awake because it's a taboo, because you're not supposed to think about it, because it's unattainable. But when you go to sleep, the unconscious mind goes and takes out those repressed desires and brings it to you in the form of dreams. Of course, Sigmund Freud talks a lot, and I think a lot of it is nonsense. And he says that a lot of these repressed desires are, well, you know Freud. A lot of them are sexual. He says that the unconscious mind is very sneaky. The unconscious mind will bring you your repressed desires sometimes in a disguise. In a disguise. I don't want to go into details. For those interested, you can read about Sigmund Freud's theory in his book, Interpretation of Dreams. Anyway, so he has his own theory. Basically, according to Freud, dreams are all about the past. They have nothing to do with the future. Now, let's see what Islam says about dreams. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. First of all, the Quran says that when we sleep, sleep is a minor death. That there are two kinds of death. The long-term death is when everyone dies. When we biologically die, Our mind and our heart, our brains and our heart stop working. And there's a minor death. And this is called sleep. When we sleep, this is a minor death. The Quran says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, إِنَّ اللَّهَ مُتَوَفِّي الْأَنفُسِ حِينَ مَوْتِهَا وَالَّتِي لَمْ تَمُتْ فِي مَنَامِهَا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes away our lives at their destined times. And those that don't die at their destined times, Allah will take them away when? في منامها, when they sleep. Thus, every night when we sleep, it's a death, but it's a minor death. It's not a biological death, it's a minor death. That's why when we fall asleep, we have to repeat our wudu. If we had a wudu, we have to repeat our wudu. Why? Because ahadith tell us that when we sleep, our soul departs the body and it goes somewhere else. It goes somewhere else. It goes into another world. And the things that we see in that world are our what? Our dreams. The things that we see in that world are our dreams. There's a hadith by Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam. He says, إن العباد إذا ناموا خرجت أرواحهم إلى السماء فما رأت الروح في السماء فهو الحق وما رأت في الهواء فهو الأضغاث. That when we sleep, our souls depart our bodies and it goes to the sky. What we see in the sky, في السماوات, this is the truth. It has a meaning. And what we see on our way to the sky, in the air, this is أضغاث أحلام. This is nonsense. Thus, we have several ahadith that stress sleep is a minor death. It's a smaller death. Because our soul departs our bodies and it goes to places. Where does it exactly go? We don't know. But it meets with other souls. It receives information. It is given information. It gives information. This all happens during our sleep. Now, we have ahadith that divide dreams into 4 categories. The dreams that we see. And as I said, all of us see dreams. Most of us see dreams. Sometimes we remember them. Sometimes we don't remember them. Our dreams are divided into 4 categories. These are hadith by Ahl Bayt. The first category is called Bushra min Allah. It is good news from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We see something that tells us about the future. It's a good thing that will happen to us in the future. This is Bushra min Allah, good news from Allah. You see yourself at a brand new job, you get a raise, you're married to someone, you have children, you're traveling, you're in Hajj, you're in Karbala. This is good news from Allah. That means it will happen. Of course, don't jump to conclusions. Not all dreams are like this. This is one category. This is just one category of dreams that tells us about the future. And the dream that Yusuf alayhi salam had was part of this category. He saw a dream that the sun and the moon and 11 stars are prostrating to him. Of course, it came to him as a disguise. And then 40 years later, he saw his father and his mother, or his aunt, and his 11 brothers prostrating to him. Thus, Yusuf alayhi salam, his dream fell in this category. I told him about the future. The second category is called tahzeenun min ash-shaytan, sadness from shaitan. Some people, shaitan can't get to them when they're awake, so he comes to them when they're asleep. He wants to bring them sadness. So you'll see in your dream that you've lost someone very special to you, or that you got in a car accident, or for example, you're going to Hajj and the group leaves you and the plane takes off and you remain at the airport. I've seen a dream like that. Very painful. You'll see something very painful. This is called تحزين من الشيطان. This is from shaitan. Shaitan tries to upset mu'mineen and believers in their dreams. Nightmares. Basically, nightmares, you see yourself falling off a building, or a thief is at your house, or you're being bitten by a snake, or whatever it is. This is تحزين من الشيطان. This is purely from shaitan, trying to make us feel sad and upset us. This is how he upsets mu'mineen. The third kind, according to these ahadith, أضغاث أحلام. They are absolutely meaningless. Some dreams are absolutely meaningless. You see yourself in a place, meeting someone, reading a book. This is meaningless. There's a good category, and I could safely say that probably 80% of our dreams fall into this category. أضغاث أحلام. They are absolutely meaningless. The Imam says regarding this category, الذي يحدث به الإنسان نفسه فيراه في منامه. It's what you're thinking about during the day, you'll see in your dream. For example, you have an exam and you're stressed out, you're worried about the exam. In your dream, you see yourself in the lecture hall about to take the exam, and you've forgotten everything, for example. Because you're so stressed out about it, you keep on thinking about it, it comes to you in your dream. Hasn't that happened? When you have an exam, when you have a journey, when you're traveling, when there's something important. For example, when you have guests coming over to your house, you've invited 50 or 60 people over to your house, and you dream that there's no food at home. Or the restaurant that you asked to bring you food to cater, he forgot, for example. And now you're embarrassed in front of 60 people. Because you're worried about it. Because you're stressed out from it, it comes to you in your dream. This is أضغاث أحلام. It is absolutely meaningless. Doesn't mean anything. Possibly due to stress. Possibly because you ate too much the night before. Too much ashrishta or anything else. And this causes it. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. You just had iftar, so I think you can do a louder salawat than this. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. A fourth category of dreams, and again, this is according to the hadith of Ahl Bayt. We might see a nightmare. We'll see a nightmare, but there is a reason behind it. It's because we've committed a sin. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to stop us from sinning again. He wants to punish us, so He'll show us a bad dream. And this is a gift from Allah in reality. It's a nightmare. It'll scare us. We might wake up screaming and shouting, will scare everyone in the house. But it's a gift. Why? So that we'll stop sinning. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says, إذا كان العبد على معصية الله وأراد الله به خيرا أراه في منامه رؤيا تروعه فينزجر بها عن تلك المعصية. That if Allah wants to bless someone, if Allah loves someone and He wants to bless him, and that person performs bad deeds and commits sins, Allah will scare him in his dream. He'll show him a nightmare. Maybe he'll show him a glimpse of hellfire or the grave or dying, how it feels to die, so that he'll stop committing a sin. This is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, these four categories of dreams, they're the dreams that you and I see. Ordinary people like you and me, our dreams fall into these categories. However, the dreams of prophets are different. When a prophet sees a dream, it is completely different. Ibrahim alayhi salam, Ibrahim saw in his dream that he is slaughtering his son Ismail. This was a command. This was a revelation. One of the ways that prophets receive revelation from Allah is dreams. That is why Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he told his son Ismail, قال يا بني إني أرى في المنام أني أذبحك فانظر ماذا ترى. My son, I see in my dream that I'm slaughtering you. What do you say? What did his son say? قال يا أبتي افعل ما تؤمر. Do as you're ordered. His son Ismail realized that this is a command from Allah. There's a form of revelation. Thus, dreams that prophets see are all meaningful, not meaningless. 80% of the dreams that you and I see are meaningless. But prophets, their dreams are meaningful. It's a form of revelation. Either Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is commanding them, He's ordering them to do something, or He's telling them about the future. Like the dream of whom? Yusuf alayhi salam. Or sometimes Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad, he sees dreams as well, and it would tell him about the future. Once Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi saw a dream. This was during the days that he was in Medina, and there were problems between him and Quraysh. He couldn't go into Mecca. Right before Sulh al-Hudaybiyah, before the peace treaty of Hudaybiyah, he saw a dream that he, along with his companions, were in Masjid al-Haram performing their Hajj or performing their Umrah, and they had shaved their heads after the Umrah, after the Hajj. So Rasulullah told his companions, he told them that, listen, we're going to perform our Umrah. When we went to Sulh al-Hudaybiyah, they had the peace treaty. Of course, what happened? They had a ceasefire, but they told them, you can't come this year, come the following year. So one of the companions, and I'm sure you're all smart to figure out who it was, one of the companions, he stood up and he said, Ya Rasulullah, you told us that we're going to go. You told us that we're going to go inside the masjid and perform our tawaf and sa'i and shave our heads. He told him, yes, but did I tell you this year? I didn't tell you this year. The following year they came and they performed their Umrah. And Allah revealed the following verse. لَقَدْ صَدَقَ اللَّهُ رَسُولَهُ الرُّؤْيَا بِالْحَقِّ لَتَدْخُلَنَّ الْمَسْجِدَ مسجد الحرام إن شاء الله آمنين محلقين رؤوسكم. Thus, prophets would see dreams, and their dreams are meaningful. One day Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in his dream, he saw monkeys jumping up and down on his mimbar. He woke up, he didn't know what it was. And then he was told by Jibreel that who are these monkeys jumping on your mimbar? Bani Umayyah. Bani Umayyah. And indeed, after a couple of years after the death of Rasulullah, Uthman was the first from Bani Umayyah to come and sit on the mimbar of Rasulullah, and then Muawiyah, and then Yazid, and then the rest of the gang. Thus, dreams of prophets have meanings. So don't say, well, if Prophet Yusuf saw this, then my dream has to have a meaning as well. No, these are prophets. We're not prophets. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Also, a very important point to remember, that religion is not based upon dreams, my dear brothers and sisters. Religion cannot be based upon dreams. There's a hadith by Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam. He says, إِنَّ دِينَ اللَّهِ أَعَزُّ مِنْ أَنْ يُرَى فِي النَّوْمِ. The religion of Allah is more honorable than to be seen in what? In dreams. We don't base anything from religion on dreams. Our Sunni brothers and sisters, when it comes to the adhan, they say that yes, the adhan, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. The whole adhan, how was it revealed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? They say the second Khalifa Umar ibn al-Khattab saw it in his dream. He saw in his dream the adhan, so he woke up and he told Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, this is the adhan that we should use, and it became a slogan in Islam. This is ridiculous. We don't base our adhan because of a dream of someone. Nothing in religion is based on dreams. Not usul ad-din. We believe Allah is one because of a dream. No, because number one, our mind says so. And because of the Quran and all prophets say so. We believe that there's a creator, and this creator is just, and this creator created us for a purpose, and there's a heaven and a hell, and there's a day of judgment. Usul al-Din is all based on logic and the Quran. None of it is based on dreams. If you see someone telling you, well, I believe that this person is a prophet, or this person is not a prophet, or this person is an imam, that person is because of a dream, know that this person, either he's a crook or he's not very sane. Religion is not based on dreams. Neither furu' ad-din. Someone can't come and tell you that this is halal and that is haram, this is wajib and that is not wajib because I saw a dream. Or so and so scholar, I don't know in which city, saw a dream. No, this is nonsense. They say that one scholar in his class, he told his students that so and so is haram, for example. That night he saw Fatima al-Zahra in his dream. She told him, who told you it's haram? It is not haram. The next day he came back to class and he said so and so is haram. Again. The next night Fatima al-Zahra came back to him in his dream. She told him, didn't I tell you that it's not haram? The third day he came back, again he said it's haram. Fatima al-Zahra came back to him in his dream. She told him that, didn't I tell you that it is not haram? He said, my lady Fatima, come to me in real life and tell me it is not haram, I will say it is not haram. But as long as you're coming to me in my dream, I'm sorry, I can't depend on dreams. We can't depend on dreams. Not on usul al-Din, not for usul al-Din, not for furu' al-Din, and not for history as well. There are some people that build history on dreams. So and so happened because of a dream. Imam Hussein did this and that, Abu al-Fadl Abbas did this and that because he had seen a dream. This is nonsense. We base history on the authentic narrations. If we have authentic narrations that our scholars accept, we'll accept it. But to come and tell me that I believe this event occurred because of a dream? No. This is not correct. Thus, we can't base anything on dreams. Some people come and say, Sayyid, I think this person owes me money. Why? Because I saw a dream he owes me money. This is ridiculous. No. Once this person came to me and he said, Sayyid, I discovered that I'm a Sayyid. I recently discovered I'm a Sayyid. I told him, how? He said, because last night I saw Fatima al-Zahra without hijab. Without hijab. So obviously I have to be her son or grandson, otherwise how can I see her without hijab? I told him, how many shawarmas did you have the night before? So he thinks he's a Sayyid because of a dream. This is nonsense. إِنَّ دِينُ اللَّهِ أَعَزُّ مِنْ أَنْ يُرَى فِي النَّوْمِ. We don't see anything religious. We don't base anything religious on dreams, brothers and sisters. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. As I said, some people are obsessed with dreams. And they're obsessed with interpretations of dreams. They go around asking from door to door, from scholar to scholar, asking about dreams and an interpretation of dreams. First of all, my dear brothers and sisters, not everyone has knowledge of interpretation of dreams. This is a special knowledge. The knowledge of interpretation of dreams is a special knowledge. It's not even learnt. It's not even taught at a hawza or a class or a seminary or... No. It's a special knowledge. It's only from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yusuf alayhi salam says, Allah regarding Yusuf, he says, وَكَذَلِكَ مَكَّنَّا لِيُوسُفَ فِي الْأَرْضِ لِنُعَلِّمَهُ مِنْ تَأْوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ. Allah says, we taught Yusuf how to interpret dreams. Yusuf didn't go and attend a class or a seminary or a hawza. This was special knowledge given to him from Allah. And he later says, رَبِّي قَدْ آتَيْتَنِي مِنَ الْمُلْكِ وَعَلَّمْتَنِي مِنْ تَأْوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ. He thanks Allah for teaching him how to interpret dreams. Thus, it's a special knowledge. It's a special science. Not everyone has. Only the very privileged, a high class of scholars have this knowledge. Perhaps they're not even scholars. They might not necessarily be wearing a turban and a long beard. No. It's a special knowledge given to them by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And most people who claim to interpret dreams are crooks. Watch out. I know many, especially in the Middle East, they claim to interpret dreams only to what? To get cash out of you and to get money out of you. Most of them are crooks. Because the ones that know how to actually interpret dreams, they don't announce it. They don't go announcing that I know how to interpret a dream. They're special people. And we believe that the knowledge of interpreting dreams has a relationship with what? With taqwa, with piety. The more a person is pious, he will gain the knowledge of interpreting dreams. It has something to do with taqwa, piety. Yusuf alayhi salam, when did he start interpreting dreams? When he overcame his self, his nafs, and did not give in to the temptation of Zulaykha, and then he started interpreting dreams. Read the Quran, read Surah Yusuf. When was the first time that he interpreted his dream? Or a dream? In jail, in prison. It was after he overcame the temptation of Zulaykha, he began interpreting dreams because of piety. And there was a scholar by the name of Ibn Sirin. Ibn Sirin is well known. He's known for interpreting dreams. They say that he started interpreting dreams after an incident that occurred in his life. Ibn Sirin was a good-looking man. He was a good-looking young man. One day, a woman in his city tried to seduce him. She fooled him into coming into her house, and she closed the doors, and she began seducing him. Ibn Sirin defeated his nafs and defeated this lady. He didn't give in to temptation. They say a few days after that, he began interpreting dreams. He developed the knowledge of interpreting dreams. That's why I'm telling you, it's not a knowledge that can be attained at a hawza or at a seminary or from a specific book. No, it has to do with taqwa. It has to do with purity of heart. Teachings of Ahl Bayt tell us that if you see a dream, whether it's a good dream or a bad dream, first of all, don't mention it to anyone. That's number one. The first thing that we do over breakfast, we sit and say, listen, I had this dream, and we start saying the dream. A hadith say, don't talk about your dreams. Keep them a secret. Don't tell anyone. And this is exactly what Yaqub told Yusuf. Told him, don't mention your dreams. Don't mention your dream to your brothers. This is one. Number two, a hadith tell us that if a bad dream is interpreted, or any dream, if any dream is interpreted badly, in a bad way, it will happen in a bad way. So be careful who you tell that dream to. Make sure that you don't tell your dream to someone who's ignorant. Because if it's interpreted in a bad way, it will occur in that bad way. There's a hadith that say that. Third, we have a hadith that say, don't say your dream in front of someone envious and jealous of you. Say your dream in front of someone who loves you. One of your best friends, a husband or a wife. Don't say it in front of anyone envious. And don't say it, number four, to someone who's a fool, someone who is ignorant, someone who doesn't know what he's talking about. Have you seen some people? As soon as someone says, I have a dream, they begin interpreting it. They begin saying, well, this is what's going to happen, or that's going to happen. Be careful. Don't say your dreams in front of anyone. And lastly, I conclude, there are some who have reached a high level of piety and taqwa and faith, that their dreams have meanings, that their dreams are ru'ya sadiqah, that their dreams actually have a meaning, because they've reached a special stage of piety and faith. What they see in their dream actually has a meaning. For example, there was a scholar in Najaf by the name of Sayyid Abdul Hadi al-Shirazi, rahimahullah, a very well-known scholar. They say, and I heard this story from my teacher in Najaf, and he heard it from one of his teachers in Qom. And that teacher in Qom, who's Ayatollah Sheikh al-Wahid al-Khurasani, he heard it from Sayyid Abdul Hadi Shirazi directly. He says that Sayyid Abdul Hadi Shirazi, he says, one day I thought to myself that I haven't done anything for Imam Hussein alayhi salam. I'm a scholar, I teach, but I'm not a speaker. I haven't made anyone cry for Imam Hussein. So he says, one day I went out into the bookstores of Najaf and I picked up a book of poetry for Imam Hussein. And I came back home. I gathered my wife and children. We sat down and I started reading poetry for Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And he said, I started crying a little bit. And my family started crying. My children started crying. He said, that's it. I put the book away. He said, that night I saw a dream that it was the day of judgment. And Imam Hussein alayhi salam is sitting on a chair and everyone is gathered around him. And his brother Abul Fadl Abbas is standing next to him. He said, I saw that Imam Hussein signaled to Abul Fadl Abbas. He told him, remove so and so from this book. It was the book of the servants of Imam Hussein. I wonder if my name is in there or your name's there. He said, remove so and so. So he said, Abul Fadl Abbas, remove that name. And then he said, write instead of him as Sayyid Abdul Hadi Shirazi. And he said, I woke up. He said, all I did was recite once with my family, with my wife and children. I recited poetry about Imam Hussein. They wrote me in the book of the servants of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. This is called ru'ya sadiqa, because it comes from someone pure, someone righteous, someone pious, someone with faith. Thus dreams are in various categories. Now, as long as we ended with the name of Imam Hussein, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us His ziyarah in this life and His shafa'ah in the next life. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma la tad'a lana dhanban illa ghafarta, wa la hamman illa farajta, wa la ayban illa satarta, wa la khawfan illa amanta, wa la rizqan illa basatta, ولا شملا إلا جمعته ولا مرضا إلا شفيته ولا غائبا إلا حفظته وأدنيته ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا والآخرة لك فيها رضا ولنا فيها صلاح إلا قضيتها ويسرتها يا أرحم الراحمين. ولأرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات والعلماء والشهداء نقرأ سورة الفاتحة مع الصلوات.